折れた淡い翼君は少し青すぎる空に疲れただけさもう誰かのためじゃなくて自分のためには
I've been the devil, I need me a arc and no water. I'm breathing, I feel like Tanjiro. Walking this bitch with a zapato, I'll let you rock it, I keep me a domino. Bitch, I'm a dip and I feel like a Zaki. Stretching that pussy out like it's Pilates. I'm seshing the soul like right out of a body. Fire, I'm spitting, I'm feeling like Dobby. White bitch, blonde hair, looking like Lucy. She from Kyoshi, I paint her face Suki. I'm a gorilla, you looking like Rookie. I'ma get paper, I ain't talking nice. Live in the garden, I feel like Gato. I hit him with fire, they calling me Sabo. High as fuck, I'm off the kush with Quasar. Hit you with headshots, you getting lazy.
Bunkai, I've been in the cut like Bunkai. Smoking that trees all bonsai. Important shit you can't come by. I hit them all, just a ball out. You know I be copping that Bandai. And you do that shit for the one time. Bitch, I do that shit for the fun time. I said, Bunkai, I've been in the cut like Bunkai. Smoking on trees all bonsai. Important shit they can come by. Important shit they can come by. Hitting them all just a ball out. No, I be copping that Bandai. You do that shit for the one time. I do that shit for the fun time.
Free so a hashtag, we going back shit. Call me icon, but I pull up and whack shit. You never heard about slick, but I act bitch. You were pretending your fans getting catfish. Hit you a hollow and Nolly, you hollow and now you a hollow bitch. That is my motto. Bitch, I've been grinding, I'm feeling like Otto. That ice on my body feel like Kyori Moto. Otaku wonder world up in this bitch. Came here to finish, you call me the lit.
Alright, what's good? What's good? What's poppin'?
Call me the Grinch. Yo,
Alright,
bitch, with a bone.
alright.
I feel like Ikaku, I give it a pole.
Hold on. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Bleach, cause a lot of y'all finna get on me about this Bleach announcement. Okay. So let's talk about Bleach. Let's get this out the way. The PS5 reveal event is in like 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. But where the pictures go? Hold on, bro. I was about to say hello. All right. Let's talk about Bleach. So Bleach 20th anniversary project. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be live. You know what? We're gonna probably put the music on low, let it run out. Cause y'all trying to clown me in the stream. What up, Lil Joker? What up, Vocal Rose? What is up, Low Key Matt? How you guys doing? Can y'all hear me today? Is everything fine? So, while I'm doing this, let's talk about Bleach. All right. So let y'all know, I will immediately hold that L. Not only because the Bleach announcement, I am 100% happy for long-term Bleach fans because I've just got on the wave and I can 100% admit that Bleach is really good. Me being younger, I did not like it, however, and plus I still was in my Naruto phase. Like Naruto is like the greatest thing on the planet. So hold off, chill out on your boy. All right, number one, I want to say that Bleach, I'm on episode 63, 110 right now. I keep going back and forth because I'm trying to contemplate, do I want to just drop the money to watch it in dub or should I watch it in sub? Because me personally, I'm not a sub or dub hater. I don't care. It could be whatever language it's in. It's only one dub I generally dislike. And I'm going to be honest, the dub that I hate is Fairy Tail. I hate the dub of Fairy Tail with heart, stone, burning passion. I dislike that 100%. I think it's so mid. Okay, so I'm here. Let me go in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through. Wonder what price for the PS5. I'm gonna get to the PS5 stuff in a minute. What's good, Nightly? So let me talk about Bleach. I generally am enjoying Bleach. My favorite captain right now would probably be, Hitsugaya just got a raw looking Bond cat. It's a dragon with wings. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just a dragon with wings, an ice dragon. I like his still, even though I can admit he really didn't do nothing very detrimental in the first part. I really like Kenpachi. Kenpachi's a really cool ass character. Let me read the chat while I'm doing this. He say, not really shocked, but Burn the Witch is getting serialized as a shocker. And I still don't know how I feel about that. Bleach is coming back? Yes, it is. Have you played Yakuza? Have I played Yakuza? Yakuza. Have I played Yakuza? Hold on. Yakuza. You gonna ask me, have I played Yakuza? Yeah, I got Yakuza. Yakuza, boys. I need to make an actual scene for that, but what's good? What's poppin'? Back to this. It's pretty good. My upset, my frustration right now is that Samurai 8 got axed. He say Platinum Games is making a hack and slash Bleach game. No, I didn't say that. It's like, good morning world. Hey, thank you, Arion, for becoming part of the Avatar gang. But I'm just sitting here chilling. Now the next cool thing is let's talk about Burn the Witch. For people that don't know, Burn the Witch is another it started off as a one-off or a spin-off or something, one shot. I couldn't think of it at the time for Bleach. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am more interested in that than finishing Bleach. I'm not gonna lie to you because I like female protagonists. Those are some of my favorite characters. Favorite characters in video game history. I say video game in manga anime history. I'm thinking about anime and video games. So right now, I gotta give credit to where it's due. I want to finish Bleach so I can understand it a lot more, just so I can go into Burn the Witch. I'm excited for Burn the Witch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really excited for that because I always liked the animation for it. So yes, Burn the Witch is coming in 2020, and we'll be getting a OVA. Okay, we'll be getting a little OVA, which is done by Studio Colorado. If you guys don't know who that is, they did some of the best animation. This does this fan animated series about kids with creativity and power. That is one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen, dog. They snapped. I can't lie to you. The Burn the Witch OVA sounds exciting. A lot of people are pissed off, or they're like, "Oh, if it's Studio Period, it will be trash." I have no hatred towards Studio Period. One, this is their only arc. Their budget should probably be higher than it is for Black Clover, right? When they do good stuff like Naruto Shippuden has gotten judged by Studio Period because of filler, sometimes because of pacing, and sometimes because of the animation. But when they actually do really good stuff, they go off. Think about Kakashi versus Obito. Studio Period, I'm going to be honest with you, that is one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in a series. That arc that could be animated for the new Bleach anime is going to be the best arc of Bleach. He said, Burn the Witch will get overshadowed by Jujutsu Kaisen and possibly Act Age because of the female lead. Burn the Witch will get overshadowed by Jujutsu. How do y'all feel about that? I don't think so. I feel like now that Bleach has heavy, Jujutsu Kaisen's doing really well, but I think Burn the Witch will have momentum because it's already a huge fan base. It's one of the big three. That's something that's going forward. So if Bleach fans are vocal about it, that's good. It's also a short little thing. Now, I'm going to say this about Samurai 8. Right, I'm upset about Samurai 8. I think I've made a tweet about Samurai 8 or something like that. Let me see. I'm gonna go scroll. This is the most bogus Bleach tweet. Watch this. Hold on. That makes me so mad. But anyway, where is it at? All right. So Samurai 8, right? You say, I'm gonna get back to you in a minute, Savage Bomb. We got less than 15 minutes till PS5 reveal. I'll pull that up. So Samurai 8, right? I will 100% be honest with you. Samurai 8 beginning sucked. It was not good. It was hard to read. That is one of the major common criticisms. So people didn't peep, right? Another thing is the main character, Hachimaru. The problem with the main character is he kind of is like the Deku syndrome, right? What's up, Cosmic? So by him having the Deku syndrome where he's crying, he don't got a power. You know what I'm saying? People already don't like that about Deku. Yeah, it's popular, but when it comes to manga and travel it over here, it has less likely to be popular. I think Samurai 8's more popular in the United States compared to it is in Japan, right? So it got axed. Now, if you've actually been reading Samurai 8, it is so good. It is like the last couple chapters of it is just, it's up to the level or on par with Kishimoto's Naruto. Like, he's getting really good, and it just got axed, and it hurts. It hurts. Because I understand, like, people hate. A lot of people like to hate on Kishimoto, like how people were hating on Bleach. I was making jokes about Bleach, because, you know, why didn't they animate the last arc? It just didn't make sense. But now, it kind of smart, because now if Shonen Jump flops everything, say like My Hero, Demon Slayer, Promise Neverland, Act Age, Dr. Stone, say all those series flop right now, right? Bleach could come back and save it. It just sucks that there's no Naruto Kishimoto energy there, because yeah, you got Boruto. I love Boruto. What up, Platinum Goddess? Deku GOAT protagonist, smelling cap. No, I'm not saying I love Deku. I'm not saying Deku sucks. I love Deku. Midoriya Izuku Deku. Plus, he got my favorite color as his hair. I love the green, so it attracts me. Right, that was the first thing why I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I even knew anything about Deku, I already knew I was gonna like him because of his hair color. I just like green. It was vibrant. It resonated with me, and it also matches how his power at work. So it's fire. It's fire. But what's up, Swan? I love Deku so much. He mains 100% Deku. All right, scared me there, broski. Oh, I'm about to say, my friend said Boruto was trash. All right, chill out. Now, here's the thing about Boruto. The problem with Boruto is it's monthly. So Boruto is like, let me give y'all an example, right? So let's say you've been waiting months and years. I'm gonna give y'all this example. Wachow! Okay, let's say you've been waiting months and years for this one amiibo, right? This is the Cloud amiibo, right? Okay, you finally get the amiibo. You like, yes, I finally got it. And then you get done playing with it. You like the Toy Story meme? I don't want to play it anymore. That's how it is. Because Boruto gets you hyped monthly. Boruto has been consistent. I don't care what anybody say. The anime of Boruto, that's a different story. And Boruto right now is doing the Mujina Bandits arc. But when you take the Boruto manga, the Boruto manga is so gas. Like, one image got people hyped up from the last manga. It's been on the timeline every day since last month. But I don't know. I still have to buy My Heroes One Justice 2. So pretty much, I'm excited for all the Bleach stuff. I'm just upset that a series that I really liked got axed. Like, I gave it a reread, I read it, and I'm like, I'll be honest with you, Kishimoto is one of those series that, in his case, because people always complain about, which this is my rant. This is going to be my biggest rant on this channel. Y'all finna hear the biggest one. I'm gonna go to the PlayStation thing while we speculate about this. So I'm in the call with Derpy Pearly and UZX Crimson, by the way. Are they here?
Yeah, I'm here.
I was going to say, y'all was just like mad quiet. I was like, what y'all do? Alright, so don't worry about it. But so let me I'm finna give y'all the biggest rant that I have a problem with. So I don't want to do this because it's gonna blow me. Because what makes me mad about Samurai 8 getting axed, it's not the fact that it got axed. Well, it is the fact that it got axed. Let me stop capping. But the problem with it is that the numbers of Samurai 8 is substantially higher than the other 25 serialized series. I actually did numbers. If you do the percentage of all the other series, Boruto is in the top 9% of Shueisha sales, but it is the lowest out of the top 10. So of course, like, yeah, it's gonna get axed. But they got like a Gravity Boys. They got hella other stuff, right? Like, this is just like, like that's still there, and it is not popping off. Like, none of it's popping up. They even got. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all one series that y'all probably not gonna know about, and it's probably gonna pop off. You want to tell you why it's gonna pop off? It's called Zip Man. It's by the person that used to help draw. It's by the person that used to draw, help draw with Horo Koshiki. I always say his name wrong. Horikoshi. I don't know what I'm thinking about. But the one that does My Hero, he does his side draws and stuff like that. Yeah. That's probably gonna pop off. I think that's the next big thing that probably will pop off within Shonen Jump. But other than that, like the Bleach jokes are cool, right? Cause it's like, yeah, y'all finally could get back on me for it. But like the way I was expecting it to go out was like, all right, Samurai 8 still in Shonen Jump, and then Bleach come back and it just washes, right? It ain't happen like that. Samurai 8 didn't even get the chance. Stupid. I'm not gonna let you get the chance. But
I know one thing for sure. Like, I'm taking this quote from Transformers, bro. Like, there's no sacrifice, no victory. Like, I felt that when it came to Samurai. Hey, look, I hate that it had to happen to it. Cause like all the other stuff, like I'm not gonna lie to you, the recent chapter was kind of neat. I'm just like, bro, like it could have been anything else, but Samurai 8 had to go.
Let me tell you what's really good. If you haven't read the main stuff, Chainsaw Man's pretty fire. I got put on by Chainsaw Man because I was bored and they got me. The cover art was very colorful. I'm weird. I'm the weird person. Well, like if I see a lot of colors, I'm probably gonna click on it. And like it was a guy with a chainsaw. Look, Jujutsu Kaisen will probably be the next big thing. Like it'll probably be if it doesn't get delayed. We can't say what it is, but y'all know what we talking about. The Covey, I'm gonna call it that. But other than that, if it doesn't get delayed, it'll probably be the next big thing, depending on who adapts it. Because there's talks that's like, oh, Aniplex will do it. Then there's talk that A1 Pictures is gonna do it. Then there's talks that Ufotable is everywhere, which I actually don't believe Ufotable is doing anything else if it's not Fate or if it's not Kimetsu no Yaiba. Because Kimetsu no Yaiba's in the spot to where like the animation is the spectacle, and knowing Ufotable, they don't miss. I'm sorry, like every series they've made since the beginning, Fate Stay Night it's an older anime, and it looks just like a lot of new stuff with the highest budget animation. What's up, Prodigy? Let me see what you say. They gave that character a power boost, instant turn on. That's another problem with Samurai 8. That first chapter, and Kishimoto even said he should have did it. Because Kishimoto's storytelling is strong, but his panelization is what made Naruto. Right? That's why a lot of people get mad at scenes that's in Shippuden. Because the direction of the panels and how they're placed compared to how they transfer them over with Studio Period, for example, was very debatably for a lot of people. I enjoyed all of it. However, I have to say that y'all know my least favorite fight in the whole Naruto series because of if by animation would it be that we ain't even gonna get into that today. But what do you say? I want them to remake Rosario plus Vampire. What's up, Trey? When you can't see you in the bathroom, you have no toilet paper. What?
I think that anime some cheeks. I watched it though, but
you say, oh no, you can't just change your name. Look, it hurts. Okay.
Are you streaming?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you being recorded live.
Oh, cool.
Let me see.
You should put like a streaming tab in your general or something. Like any random dude could join the call.
I mean, I don't care. I stopped caring at this point. Let me see.
Oh, I'm gonna start streaming.
You say, can you read my upper comment? Let me read it. Do you think Hunter x Hunter anime? All right, let me tell you something about Hunter x Hunter. Right. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Monster Hunter World gonna have to die before we get Hunter x Hunter back.
Oh, okay.
Because that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing is playing Monster Hunter World. And we're like Iceborne. Like, what's up, Percy? Well, Iceborne is kind of like crazy. So, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have bought Iceborne for $60 because there's over 400 hours of extra content. Like, I just scratched the surface. It's like blowing me. Like, yeah. But here's the truth about Hunter x Hunter. I literally need that one fight after where the anime ends. It's like right after it ends. I'm not gonna spoil it for you because that ain't how I work here. That one fight will be goated. That fight will be the Naruto x Sasuke of I'm a gas it even more. The Kakashi versus Obito of Hunter x Hunter, right? Because that fight is just a psychological welfare, and it's two of the favorite characters on screen, like that you didn't think would ever fight. So I think Togashi is trying to find inspiration. He got the tech already. He already got it written down. So Togashi don't need no inspiration. He got his own series as an inspiration. So I'm still hoping for an Avatar: The Last Airbender game, whether it's a fighting game or open world. I don't mind. I don't care. Let me see. Which one you think is better, Avatar: The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra? You know the answer. You already know the answer. So, yeah, it's like I ain't gonna say it because I know people get butthurt when I say why I feel that way. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change my name to I'm Streaming. Okay. There you go. I can't spell. What? Well, okay. You say, am I cool with Azula? All right. So let me give y'all my honest take. Right. Azula is an amazing character. Azula is an amazing character. I will say yes. I would probably say yes. Personally, I like Legend of Korra more than Avatar: The Last Airbender. You say name 3 quick reasons. Fight scenes are better. I like Korra's bending, and I like her character way more than Aang in a lot of instances. I also like the supporting cast somewhat as much as I like Aang's supporting cast equally. However, Asami is just female Sasuke, so I'm biased on that. But other than that, I do like the world building of Legend of Korra a little bit more. Because since it's already established, you get to see how like the world is under peace, right? Instead of how like Avatar was all about like, okay, everybody was scared of one nation and it didn't really like let them all develop in a certain way. As you go through Korra, you see things change and evolve. From Republic City looking one way to like Republic City ending up a certain way. To like the Air Nation evolving with their abilities, like act like the flying suits weren't raw. Act like the flying suits were not raw. That was one of my favorite things in Avatar. And I forgot the name of the girl with the little. She was the Sparky Boom Man 2.0, but she used to.
Oh, damn, yeah, I forgot her name.
Well, I forgot her name, but it starts in 60 seconds, by the way. So the Sony thing, I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Oh, well.
Oh, I like 100. Oh shit.
The anime?
Hey, you ever watch Cavalry Fell Night? It did, but I prefer Calvin from that better. Than
Somebody asked my least 3 favorite anime. Alright. Y'all gonna get mad, okay? I would probably have to say Akame ga Kill. I hate the ending of it. That whole ending is so whack. If you read it, it's so whack. But it's
you like how the manga ended.
I don't like how the anime is.
Yeah, the anime, but the manga, oh my god.
You said an anime. I think that's kind of overrated. I don't find the appeal of it. I would probably say ReZero, and then another anime that a shonen that I dislike. Y'all know. I'm not gonna say that. Y'all know it's like, like I'm not gonna say it. So y'all can have that. I need. No. However, the comic and kill characters are fire. I will not cap on that. S Death is really cool. One of my favorite top 5 female anime characters. All right, this lit right. 10-10. Number 2, I really like Urza. Like I like Urza a lot. Number 3. Yemmer.
Hey, that opened pretty fire. It be like that sometimes.
The stream's starting. I'm gonna mute. I'll be right back, y'all. Just so I can get this all written down. I'll be back in like. I'll put it in the chat for y'all. Let me see. Damn, this shit loud. Did my beat go off? Hold on. Let me turn this whole down. Tell me if that's loud enough for y'all. Tell me if that's loud enough, okay? Okay. Hey. Talk about niggas every day. I got bars my way. What we gonna get? What we gonna see? What we gonna do on me? What you talking about? Oh, by the way, I was playing Under Night, but we got like a... Okay. Sony PS5. Go PlayStation. Y'all know it's on my occasion. Playing games. Rapping relaxation. I just wanna play PS5 games today. Well, my PS5 this holiday. You know I'm doing things and I'm playing games. Y'all know I got bars and I go insane. You got your mind. I lost my time. I just got 40 seconds. Hurry up now. They're not gonna show no games. I'm not expecting no games or anything, by the way. I'm expecting just general like spec stuff. Talk that people will not understand. But this PS5 event is 52 minutes long. 52 minutes. They going off. Microsoft been showing off stuff, but they ain't been having a stream yet. 52 minutes of Sony goodness. Hit that like button if you like the Sony goodness. Hey. He say Spider-Man PS5. I would love that. Tinjo Anime. Okay. New BlazBlue game for PS5. It will be coming. Did I miss anything? It just started. No bars. Hating. Bleach game on PS5. Alright, here we go. Y'all ready?
And who better to bring that to one and only Mark Cerny. Without further ado, over to you, Mark.
Come on, Mark. Let's see what you're doing. Please, my biggest thing I want is it to be backwards compatible.
Today, I want to talk a bit about PlayStation 5 hardware and how they influenced the development of the console. I think you all know I'm a big believer in console generations. Once every 5 or 6 or 7 years, a console arrives with substantially new capabilities. There's a learning by the game developers, hopefully not too overwhelming, and soon.
Please announce PS3 backwards compatibility. Please let it be backwards compatibility. If it's a digital title, just let it be digital.
For the PlayStation consoles, that period lasted through PlayStation 3. A powerful
Audio low.
console, but also
Turn up the volume a bit.
quite a lot of heartache, as it was initially difficult to develop games for. So, starting with PlayStation 4, we've taken a different approach, roughly centered around 3 principles. The first of these is listening to the developer.
Tell me if it's good. Tell me if the audio's good, y'all. Tell me if the audio's good.
Into a console derives directly from the needs and aspirations.
By PS6, he gonna be dead.
Just
chill out.
We have some ideas of our own, but
tell me if y'all can hear everything.
Philosophy for designing consoles is that game players are here for the fantastic.
Perfect, cool.
Which
Is
is
God like? All right, I got y'all.
Creators matter. Anything we can do to make life easier for the game creators or help them realize their dreams, we will do. So, about once every 2 years, I take a tour of the industry. I go to the various developers and publishers, sit down, and discuss how they're doing with the current consoles and what they'd like to see in future consoles. This requires weeks on the road, as reaching the bulk of the game creators involves
backwards compatibility with PS1, 2, and 4 with PSP. No, that's too much. I only need PS3. I need PS3. If y'all do PS2, y'all goated.
Most requested by the developers, that was an SSD.
SSD?
Which we were very happy to put in the hardware, but a lot of problem solving was required. I'll be doing a deep dive on the SSD.
If Sony was listening to developers, why is Senran Kagura censored?
It's also key to make a generational leap while keeping the console sufficiently familiar to game developers. I think about this in terms of balancing evolution and revolution.
Come on, all right.
Now,
so first thing,
PlayStation 1, 2, and 3
SSD is in PS5
each time with a brand new feature set. That was great in many ways, but time for the developers to get up and running got longer with each console. In the past, I've called this timed triangle. Here's what I had for those 3 consoles. To be clear, I'm not talking about time to make a game. Developers will be ambitious, and it may take them 6 years or so to realize their vision. What I'm talking about
is this Tony Stark's twin? I'm weak.
And other aspects of game development are up and running, and trying to minimize that. On the other hand, if we're trying to reduce that dead time to 0, that means the hardware architecture can't change at all. We're handcuffed. We need to judge for each feature what value it adds and whether it's worth the increase in developer time needed to support it. So with PlayStation 4, we were able to strike a pretty good balance between performance and
that long?
required learning back to PlayStation.
They finna say 30 days.
With PS5,
this is a good topic. If you pre-order, hey, chill out, dog.
Adding new features and keeping a familiar programming model.
Yo,
ultimately,
PlayStation 5, 1 month less.
Under a month of getting up to speed.
Okay.
That feels like we're striking about the right balance. I'll go into a bit more detail later today about our philosophy with the GPU and the specific.
Yeah, his voice is so chill.
It's also very important for us, as the hardware team, to find new dreams, by which I mean something other than CPU performance, GPU performance, and the amount of RAM. The increase in graphics performance over the past 2 decades has been astonishing, but there are other areas in which we can innovate and provide significant value to the game creators, and through them, the players. That's why the SSD was very much on our list of directions to explore, regardless of what came out.
His voice mad chill.
Game developers and publishers. The biggest feature in this category is the custom engine for audio. That's today's final topic. The push for vastly improved audio, and in particular 3D audio, isn't something that came out of the developer.
Is this a PS5 stream or ASMR stream?
What might be
hey bro, he talking low.
And then worked out a number of steps we could take to set us on that path. So here again are the 3 principles. The first being enabling the desires of developers to drive the hardware design. To me, the SSD really is the key to the next generation. It's a game changer. And it was the number
Can I turn in what? Turn what?
PlayStation 5. As in, we know it's probably impossible, but can you put an SSD? That was a discussion we were also having internally. It was clear that the presence of a hard drive in every PlayStation 4 was having a positive impact. A lot of things that would simply have
I need PS3 backwards compatibility. Put hands in the chat if you want PS3 backwards compatibility. Please.
Developers were already banging up against the limits.
I turned it up already. Everybody said it was fine already, so I'm not gonna really change it again. PS5 volume.
I want to focus in on just one number here, which is how long it takes to load.
Hey, there we go. Look at them hands in the chat. Let's give him a Genki Dama, a spirit ball. Okay, this is serious though. So rough PS5 HD specs read
You can
Yo, games should. We better not have no load times. If your game got load times in 2021, it's
Let's assume
trash.
which means loading a gigabyte.
It's trash.
If you compress your game packages, you can.
He like a Wizard 101 character. Why you
and
roasting my
also
man?
Boost your hard drive read speed by the compression ratio. We support zlib decompression on PlayStation 4 that gets you something like 50% more data on the disk and 50% higher effective.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, it's highly likely that your data is scattered around in various files on the hard drive, as well as sourced from multiple locations within those files. So lots of seeks are needed at 2 to 50-ish milliseconds each. My rule of thumb is that the hard drive is spending 2/3 of its time seeking and only 1/3 of its time actually loading data. Putting all of that together, a gigabyte is very roughly 20 seconds to load from a hard drive. Now, a gigabyte is not much data. Games are using 5 or 6 gigabytes of RAM on PlayStation 4, so boot times and load times can get pretty grim. Or to put that differently, as a player, you wait for the game to boot, wait for the game to load, wait for the level to reload every time you die, and you wait for what is euphemistic.
Jump Force Extended Edition. Chill out.
All
No.
that leads to the dream. What if we could have not just an SSD, but a blindingly fast SSD? If we could load 5 gigabytes a second from it, what would change? Now, SSDs are completely different.
Bro, they
don't
wait.
have seeks as such.
I wanna-
If you have a 5 gigabyte a second SSD,
I'm not
you
really
can
worried
reload
about the
1,000
speeds
different
of how
locations
games
in a
run.
second, pretty much at speed.
I just want them to make games
for
smaller
time
on
to load
PS5. Like, I
this
just
is
want them to
next
not be
gen we're
100
talking about.
gigs,
So
80
memory is bigger.
gigs. Like,
Instead, we should be asking how long to load.
they could drop One Piece Burning Blood
The
2.
answer is about 1/4
You want a second
It's
one?
amazing. We're
I'd rather
talking
take a Burning
2
Blood
orders
2
of magnitude.
over another
Meaning
Jump
very
Force.
Roughly 100 times faster. Which means at 5 gigabytes a second for the SSD, the potential is that the game boots in a second. There are no load screens. The game just fades
His
down
voice
while
is
loading
blowing
a
me.
half dozen gigabytes and fades back up again. Same for a reload. You're immediately back in the action after you die. And fast travel becomes so fast it's blink and you miss it. As game creators, we
You know,
go from
Platinum
trying to
Goddess?
distract the player from how long
I like that.
like those spider.
They might get me if that's
to
real.
being so blindingly fast that we might even have to slow that transition.
One Punch Man, a hero nobody
Pretty
knows.
cool, right?
Stay
But
at
for me, this
GameStop
is not
edition.
the primary reason to change.
We don't buy that out here. We don't buy that
The
out here.
primary reason for an ultra-fast SSD.
No
is
load
that it
screens
gives
will be
the game
fire.
designer
Think about playing
freedom.
Final Fantasy
Or to
7.
put that
It
differently,
barely even
the
got
hard
load
drive,
screens.
The 20 seconds that it takes to load a gigabyte can sabotage the game that the developer is trying to create. I think almost all of us in the room have experienced this, maybe in different ways. Say we're making an adventure game and we have 2 rich environments where we each want enough textures and models to fill memory, which you can do as long as you have a long staircase or elevator ride or a windy corridor where you can ditch the old assets.
Okay,
and
so
then
now
take
they're
30 seconds or
explaining
so to
why
load
this
the
is
assets.
important.
Having a 30
Because
second
load
elevator
screens
ride
nowadays
cool.
are kind of
More
annoying.
realistically, we'd probably chop the world into a number of smaller pieces and then do some calculations with sight lines and run speeds like we did for Haven City when we were making Jack 2.
Oh, they brought
The game
back
is
Jack
20 years old,
2?
but not much has changed since then. All those twisty passages are there for a reason. There's a whole subset of level design dedicated to this sort of work, but still, it's a giant distraction for a team that just wants to make their game. So when I talked about the dream of an SSD, part of the reason for that 5 gigabyte a second target was to
He look like Hisoka's stepbrother. Hey, chill out.
What if the SSD is so fast that as the player is turning around, it's possible to load textures for everything behind the player in that split second? If you figure that it takes half a second to turn, that's 4 gigabytes of compressed data you can load. That sounds about right for next gen. Anyway, back to the hard drive. Another strategy for increasing effective read speed is to make big sequential chunks of data. For example, we might group all the data together for each city block. That removes most of the seeks, and the streaming gets faster. But there's a downside too, which is that frequently used data is included in many chunks and therefore is on the hard drive many
Ooh.
Marvel's
Capcom versus Sega. They said Marvel Spider-Man? Marvel Spider-Man?
there's a massive duplication as a result. Some of the objects, like mailboxes or news racks, are on the hard drive 400 times.
PS5 gonna be context.
What
You
I'm
just play with your
describing is
eyes.
that cramp a
Like, can I
creative
leave?
style.
All I'm hoping in
Either
this
level
stream,
design gets a
y'all,
little bit
is that I
better in
get
places, or
a controller
the data is
reveal, a
duplicated so
design
many
reveal,
times it's no longer
and potentially
on the disk.
a price
You end up
point.
with hard limits on the player's run speed or driving speed. The player can't go faster than the load speed from the hard drive. And finally, I'm sure many of you have noticed
Ooh.
that after a patch download, the PlayStation 4 will sometimes take a long time to install the patch.
Yes, I hate
Because when
that.
just part of a file has been changed, the new data can be downloaded pretty quickly. But before the game,
Cause like you'll be thinking the game done, you load the game, and then it don't work.
Portion. Otherwise, every change would add a seek or two. Even so, you can.
They're not taking a while. They doing what they need to do. It's a briefing about the PS5. We're not necessarily going to get games there today or stuff like that. Don't expect that. I just want to know about the controller and the system itself.
As you know them today.
Nothing. They're just talking about the SSD and
There's
how they're
yet one
changing
more benefit,
install
which is that
patches.
System memory can be used much more efficiently.
RAM 8 GB,
On PlayStation 4,
GDDR5.
game data on the hard drive feels very distant and difficult to use. By the time you realize you need a piece of data, it's much too late to go out and load it. So system memory has to contain all of the data that could be used in the next 30 seconds or so of gameplay.
Okay.
That means a lot of the 8 gigabytes of system memory is idle. It's just waiting there to be potentially used. On PlayStation 5, though, the SSD
Whoa,
is
look at
very
that
close to being
power.
RAM. Typically, it's fast enough that when you realize you need a piece of data, you can just
Arc
load it
versus
from the SSD
Capcom.
and
I
use it.
wish.
There's no need to have lots of
Our
data
system works
files
X-Way Shield.
waiting to be
That's the dream. That's what they should have gave it to.
is that most of RAM
They should have gave it to Arc System Works instead of Spike Midsoft.
This is one of the reasons. that
Please make a Jack 4. A lot of people have been asking for a
feels
Jack
right for
4.
PlayStation 5. The presence of the SSD reduces the need for a massive intergenerational increase in size. So, back to the dream of the SSD. Here's the set of targets. The game
I will
is
buy the PS5 when
No
it comes
launch.
out. Depends on what games is
Design
there.
freedom, meaning no twisted
I need to know what's a
passages or
launch
long
game.
corridors. More game on the disk and more game on the SSD. And finally, those patch installs go.
Oh, okay.
The reality, though, is that the SSD is just one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of places where bottlenecks can occur in between the SSD and the game code that uses the data. You can see this on PlayStation 4. If I use an SSD with 10 times the speed of a standard hard drive, I probably see only double the loading speed, if that. For PlayStation 5, our goal was not just that the SSD itself be 100 times faster. It was that game loads and streaming would be 100 times faster. So every single potential bottleneck needed to be addressed. And there are a lot of them. Let's look at check-in and what happens when its overhead gets 100 times larger. Conceptually, check-in is a pretty simple process. Data is loaded into system memory.
It's mad interesting because like
it's examined.
the smallest
a few values are
things
tweaked
could
to
change a
check-in,
system.
And then it's moved to its final location.
Blaze Blue X Guilty Gear 2021. Raise y'all hands.
That last part, moving the data, meaning copying it from one location to another, takes roughly an entire next-gen CPU.
Yeah, but it
just
it
the
depends
GPIs.
on what the
All
launch
the
game
overheads get
is.
100 times
Like
larger.
Spider-Man
That will
PS4
cripple the frame
2,
rate as soon as the player
or
moves,
Marvel Spider-Man
massive
2
stream
will make me get one on launch.
So to solve all of that, we
Guilty
built
Gear
a
is
lot
probably
of
one I would
custom
probably get on
namely
launch.
A custom flash controller and a number of custom units in our main chip. The flash controller in the SSD was designed for smooth and bottleneck-free operation, but also with games in mind. For example, there are 6 levels of priority when reading from the SSD.
I want Marvel
Priority
vs.
is very
Capcom
important.
4.
You can
Guilty
imagine
Gear
the
cross
player
tag that
heading to
out.
some new
Cross
location
tag
in
that
the world
out.
in the game, requesting a few gigabytes.
I love how
And
Ruby
while
says
those
it.
textures are being loaded, an enemy is
I love how
shot
Ruby
and
says it
has
because
to
she'd be like,
a few
Blaze
thousand
Blue,
words.
cross
Having
tag that
multiple
out.
priority
It be
levels
killing me.
audio is done
I be having so much.
immediately.
Dreams PS4 is lit.
On one side, that flash controller connects to the actual flash
That
dial.
would be a crazy launch game because I would have to get it off principle. Resident Evil 4 remake.
We ended up with a 12-channel interface. 8 channels.
Spike Chunsoft. I'm not buying another Spike Chunsoft game.
Is actually
I'm sorry.
5.5 gigabytes a second.
I'm sorry.
With a 12
I'm not buying
channel
another. I'm not buying
interface, the
another
most
Spike
natural
Chunsoft
size
game.
that emerges for an SSD is 825 gigabytes. The key question for us was, is that enough? I mean, it's tempting to add more, but Flash certainly doesn't come cheap, and we have a responsibility to our gaming audience to be cost-effective with regards to what we put in the console. Ultimately, we resolved this question by looking at the play patterns of a broad range of gamers. We examined the specific games that they were playing over the course of a weekend or a week or a month, and whether that set of games would fit properly on the SSD. We were able to establish that the friction caused by reinstalls or re-downloads would be quite low, and so we locked in on that 825 gigabyte size, while also preparing multiple strategies so that those who want more storage can add it. I'll go through the details in a moment. Back to the Flash controller. On the other side, it connects to our main custom chip via 4 lanes of Gen 4 PCIe. And inside the main custom chip is a pretty hefty unit dedicated to
Okay.
Before we talk about what that does, let's talk compression for a moment. PlayStation 4
Did y'all ever finish that Naruto roster you wanted for a fighters type game? That video coming, by the way.
5, but on my 27th
One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Yeah, gotta love ASMR about console design.
from
It be
Brad.
like that, Zebra.
It's like Zlib's smarter cousin.
The PlayStation All Stars 2.
Similar to
Nah, I got Smash Bros.
About 10% better compression. which
But
is
yeah, that
pretty
Naruto
good.
Fighters video will
10%
come out
more
if I
than
go to a
the
convention or
disc.
something. I'm just waiting on it when I'm not at home.
Kraken had only been out for a year, but it was already becoming a de facto industry standard. Half of the teams I talked to
Launch
were
game,
either
Devil
using
May
or
Cry
getting ready
versus
to.
Bayonetta.
So we hustled.
Bayonetta! Bayonetta!
One capable of handling over 5 gigabytes of Kraken format input data a second. After decompression, that typically becomes 8 or 9 gigabytes, but the unit itself is capable
You
of
think
outputting
Naruto Fighter's
as much
gonna
as
happen?
22 gigabytes a second.
I'm
if the
gonna be
data
honest
is
with you.
compressed.
I'm so hurt right now by like how
By the way, in
Kishimoto
terms
got
of
hurt this
performance,
morning.
That custom decompressor equates to 9
I don't know.
of our Zen 2
I just
That's what it would take to
I'm
decompress
starting to lose faith in my
factory
favorite series.
conventional
I'm not gonna lie to you.
There's
One
a
of
lot
my
more
favorite
in the
series.
custom I/O unit, including a dedicated DMA controller. The game can direct exactly where it wants to send the data coming off of the SSD. This equates to another Zen 2 core or 2 in terms of its copy performance. Its primary purpose is to remove check-in as a bottleneck. There's 2 dedicated I/O coprocessors and a large RAM pool. These aren't Zen 2 cores. They're there principally to direct the variety of custom hardware around them. One of the coprocessors is
So are y'all liking the
dedicated to
PS5
SSD.
stuff y'all seeing so
This
far?
lets us bypass
Just know it will be
traditional I/O and its
some
bottlenecks.
quality of life changes.
The
Stuff that you
other is
probably wouldn't know,
responsive
but you
memory
will
map, which
appreciate.
I know doesn't sound like anything related to the SSD, but a lot of developers map and remap memory as part of file I/O, and this too can become a bottleneck. There are coherency engines to assist the coprocessors. Coherency comes up a lot in places. Probably the biggest coherency issue is stale data in the GPU caches. Flushing all of the GPU caches whenever the SSD is read is an unattractive option. It could really hurt the GPU performance. So we've implemented
Give me
a
one second.
gentler way of doing things, where the coherency engines inform the GPU of the overwritten address ranges, and custom scrubbers in several dozen GPU caches do pinpoint predictions of just those.
If it's Naruto Fighters, Boruto Fighters, it doesn't matter. I just need that line in my life. I need that
You
game
don't
in my
even
life.
need to know that your data is compressed. You just
I have not watched
indicate what
Castlevania
data
on
you want to
Netflix
read
yet.
from
I'm
the
going to get
original
into that
uncompressed
soon.
file, and where you
Saint
like
Cell
it,
Arc
and the
System
whole
game would
process
look
of
cool.
Loading it happens invisibly to you.
Let me
and
see.
At very high
What
speed.
happened to Kishimoto?
Back to the dream.
Uh,
Thanks to all of that surrounding hardware,
his
our 5.5
manga,
gigabytes a second
you know his manga Samurai 8? It got axed. They got rid of his manga.
PS4 and allow the dream of
His new manga got axed.
and super fast streaming to become a reality. Having said that, expandability of our SSD is going to be quite important. Flash is costly, and you may very well want to add storage to whatever we put in.
Okay, so now you can add storage.
Now,
So that's pretty
the
nice.
kind of storage you need depends on how you're going to use it. If you have an extensive PlayStation 4 library and you'd like to take advantage of backwards compatibility to play those games on PlayStation 5, then a large external hard drive is ideal. You can leave your games on the hard drive and play them directly from there, thus saving the pricier SSD storage for your PlayStation 5 titles, or you can copy your active PlayStation 4 titles to the SSD. If your purpose in adding more storage is to play PlayStation 5 titles, though, ideally you would add to your SSD storage. we will be supporting certain M2 SSDs. These are internal drives that you can get on the open market and install in a bay in the PlayStation 5. As for which ones we support and when, I'll get to that in a moment. They connect through the custom I/O unit just like our SSD does, so they can take full advantage of the decompression, I/O coprocessors, and all the other features I was talking about. Here's the catch though. That commercial drive has to be at least as fast as ours. Games that rely on the speed of our SSD need to work flawlessly with any M2 drive. When I gave the Wired interview last year, I said that
just because the Xbox is okay, here's the thing, because I'm reading everybody's comments. Just because a console, let me get this straight right quick, because just because a console is more powerful than another, that's fine, that's amazing. However, it all comes down to who got the better games on launch, who got the better lineup within the first 3 to 6 months, who dominates the holiday season, because they're going to want to make games more on that console. And Japan already likes making things on PlayStation, so I feel like as a content creator that covers anime-related stuff, I need to get the PlayStation first. However, I am very interested in the Xbox Series X. I'm not a fanboy. Like, I could get either console. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Nice, but it only has 2 true priority levels. Our drive.
So yeah, Samurai 8 didn't do well.
Hook up a drive with only 2 priority levels.
So will my arcade stick work for PS5? That's the scary question, but potentially if it's backwards compatible and the updates and stuff carry over, it should. Or with PS3 to PS4, they sent out updates to where peripherals did work on there.
Inside of the bay we created in PlayStation.
I'm kind of scared because I'm like, dog, if I gotta buy another stick, that's gonna be hard. Like year one,
no standard for the height.
I feel like they should release Fight Sticks year one, and then
some of them even have
drop fighting games like at the end of year one into year 2.
Benchmarking them in various ways. When games hit beta,
that's my biggest question, Prince Vegeta.
Launch at year end, we'll also be doing some.
But what about the load times? What if it had great games but slow loading times? I mean, that's like specs and stuff are cool, but at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel, it comes down to the video games. There will always be better versions of games. It was like that back in the day. Like, if I'm not too sure, Sonic Heroes on GameCube, I think was better than the PlayStation 2 version.
Back to our principles. Balancing evolution and revolution is the second of them. This was definitely a recurring theme with the GPU. We need new GPU features and capabilities. If we only have more performance, it's not really a new generation of console. Of course, many of these capabilities result in more performance. That's part of why a PlayStation 5 teraflop is more powerful than a PlayStation 4 teraflop. But we aren't just looking for the performance. We also need the ability to do something with the GPU that could not have been done before. And we need higher performance per watt. Every time we double the performance of some GPU component, we don't want to find out we've doubled the power consumed and the heat produced. But at the same time, we have to make sure the GPU can run PS4 games, and we have to ensure that the architecture is easy for the developers to adopt. Now, backwards compatibility was handled masterfully by AMD. They treated it as a key need throughout the design process. As our solution to adding new features without blindsiding developers, we made sure that if there were new significant features, it would be optional to use them. The GPU supports ray tracing, but you don't have to use ray tracing to make your game. The GPU supports primitive shaders, but you can release your first game on PlayStation 5 without making any use of them. Before I get into the capabilities of the GPU, I'd like to make clear 2 points that can be quite confusing. First, we have a custom AMD GPU based on their RDNA 2.
Damn, I want them to confirm it if PS3 or not.
Is continuously improving and revising their tech. For RDNA 2, their
you say, please give me a Slap 5 tech demo or something.
Power consumption
between the PS5 and Xbox One X, I might get the PS5. I've always been a PlayStation guy. I actually started,
and to adding
if I have to be honest, I grew up on Nintendo and PlayStation. And then I didn't have an OG Xbox. The only OG Xbox game I played was Halo 2. Maybe Halo 3.
So collaboration is born. If we bring concepts to AMD,
I got an Xbox 360 because at the time the PS3 was $600, so my grandparents bought me the Xbox 360. I love the Xbox 360, and then we get to next gen. We got both consoles at the same. I got both consoles at the same time.
If you see a similar discrete GPU,
and the Xbox One is just my like entertainment machine, just watching anime and stuff. PS5 where I play all the games.
Collaboration with AMD succeeded in producing technology useful.
What's up, Rush? Yeah,
it doesn't mean that we as Sony simply incorporated the PC part into our console. This continuous improvement in AMD technology means it's dangerous to rely on teraflops.
The only game I see making launch window fighting game wise is King of Fighters. No, Guilty Gear Strive most likely will be on PS5 because there are surveys for it. The only launch, the two launch fighting games, or the ones closest to PS5, should be Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, and unless Capcom announces a port of something.
In fact, the transistor count for a PlayStation 5 CU
I'm going Xbox this generation. The console is clean as hell, looks just like a PC. Okay, that's respectable.
Second, the PlayStation 5 GPU is backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. What does that mean? One way you can achieve backwards compatibility is to put the previous chipset in the new console. But that's of course extremely expensive. A better way is to incorporate any differences in the previous console's
please,
console's custom chip, meaning that even as the technology evolves, the logic and feature set that PlayStation 4 and PlayStation
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Still available in backwards compatible modes. One advantage of this strategy is that once
I wanted the PS3 so bad.
It's not as if a cost down will remove backwards compatibility like it did on PlayStation 3. Achieving this unification of functionality took
I'm kind of upset. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Any roadmap advancement creates a potential divergence in launch.
PS3 is my favorite PlayStation.
PS4 and PS4
I ain't gonna lie to you. PS3
has also added
is probably my favorite
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Truly massive this time around, and some game code just can't handle it. Testing has to be done on a title-by-title basis. Results are excellent, though. We recently took a look at the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles as ranked by playtime, and we're expecting almost all of them to be playable at launch on PlayStation 4. With regards to new features, as I said, our strategy was to try to break new ground, but at the same time not.
Damn, I wanted the PS3 backwards compatibility so bad.
For more than a decade, GPUs have imposed a restriction on game engines. Software handles vertex processing, but for the most part, dedicated hardware is responsible for the triangles and other geometry that the vertices form. That means it's not possible to do even basic optimizations, such as aborting processing of a vertex if all geometry that uses it is off-screen. PlayStation 5 has a new unit.
I'm upset. I'm just thinking about like that. That would have been gold.
Triangles and other primitives under full programmatic control. As a game developer, you're free to ignore its existence and use the PlayStation 5 GPU as if it were no more capable than the PS4 GPU. Or you can use this new intelligence in various ways. Simple usage could be performance optimization, such as removing backfaced or off-screen vertices and triangles. More complex usage involves something called primitive shaders, which allow the game to synthesize geometry on the fly as it's
Damn, I'm salty.
It's a brand new capability. Using primitive
I'm
shaders
so
on
upset.
PlayStation 5 will allow for a broad variety of techniques, including smoothly varying level of detail, addition of procedural detail to close-up objects.
Why does he look like my previous math teacher? I'm weak. He's still like Hisoka's brother.
Major new feature of our custom RDNA.
Damn, I wanted the PS3 backwards compatibility so bad.
As AMD's upcoming PC GPUs. The CUs contain a new specialized unit called the intersection engine, which can calculate the intersection of rays with boxes and triangles. To use the intersection engine, first you build what is called an acceleration structure.
Yeah, I kind of find that bullcrap that the PS4 was never backwards compatible with PS3. And I know why, because the architect inside the system is so... Damn, that would have been great. I would have been willingly wanting to buy a new console super fast. I mean, on PC you could do it right, yeah, but you gotta emulate them, dog. I'm not a big fan of like
The ray tracing
emulating games. I'm just like, I just want to
So
turn on the
it's a good
game
mix with
and
more.
just plug it in and record it from my Elgato.
There's of course
Like,
no need to use ray tracing.
I have to,
PS4 graphics
if I do it on
run
PC,
just
I have to do
fine
it by
on
other
PlayStation
means.
5, but it presents an opportunity for those interested. I'm thinking it'll take less.
He does
than
like a
million
fired
days
high
to
school
have
math
a
teacher,
big impact
but he
on
get that
it,
bread
especially
now.
for audio occlusion and some reverb calculations. With a bit more of the GPU invested in ray tracing, it should be possible to do some very nice global illumination. Having said that, adding ray-traced shadows and reflections to a traditional graphics engine could easily take hundreds of millions of rays a second, and full ray tracing could take billions. How far can we go? I'm starting to get quite bullish. I've already seen a PlayStation 5 title that's successfully using ray tracing-based reflections in complex animated scenes with only modest costs. Another set of issues for the GPU involved size and frequency. How big do we make the GPU, and what frequency do we run it at? This is a balance.
Why are they talking about
The chip
performance
has a
of the
cost, and there's a
console?
cost for whatever we use to supply that chip with power and to cool it. In general, I like running the GPU at higher frequency. Let me show you why. Here's two possible configurations for a GPU roughly of the level of the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is a thought experiment. Don't take these configurations too seriously. If you just calculate teraflops, you get the same number. But actually, the performance is noticeably different because teraflops is defined as the computational capability of the vector ALU. That's just one part of the GPU. There are a lot of other units. And those other units all run faster when the GPU frequency is higher. At 33% higher frequency, rasterization goes 33% faster. Processing the command buffer goes that much faster. The L2 and other caches have that much higher bandwidth, and so on. About the only downside is that system memory is 33% further away in terms of cycles. But the large number of benefits more than counterbalance that. As a friend of mine says, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Well, who knows? This is Sony. Somebody
Also,
telling me about the
it's easier
PS3
to fully use
compat. I'm sorry, because I'm like
in parallel
interested
than
everywhere
it is
right
to
now,
use for
and I'm listening to him.
When triangles are small, it's
Then,
much
okay,
harder
this
to
stream
draw
is
those
not for us to
CUs
necessarily
efficiently.
show us
So there's a lot to be said
video
for
games.
assuming you can handle the results.
Is it me or he got an AP grip?
Which frankly, we have.
Or he got an AP pistol grip chin.
The reason for that is, historically, our process for
Can you
setting
show us the
CPU
system?
frequencies
Like
has
at least
relied
show
on
us the
some heavy
controller?
guesswork with regards to how much electrical power
I'm sad to say on my
consumed
PlayStation,
and how much
PS2
heat
is
will
best
be
for
produced
racing and
as a result
PS4 is for
inside the
fighting.
console.
It's too
Power
bad the
consumption
PS4 was,
varies a
yeah.
lot from game
I'm
to
so,
game.
I'm kind
When
of
I play
salty.
God of War on my PS4 Pro, I know the power consumption is high just by the fan noise. But power isn't simply about engine quality. It's about the minutia of what's being displayed and how. It's counterintuitive, but processing dense geometry typically consumes less power than processing simple geometry, which is, I suspect, why Horizon's map screen, with its low triangle count, makes my PS4 Pro heat up so much. Our process on previous consoles has been to try to guess what the maximum power consumption during the entire console lifetime might be, which is to say, the worst case scene in the worst case game, and prepare a cooling solution that we think will be quiet at that power level. If we get it right,
I'm getting the Xbox. Because the Xbox got Xbox backwards compat.
and there's even a
They
chance
got
it might
Xbox
be
360
shut
backwards
down
compat,
previous
Xbox
console
One,
games.
Xbox One X support.
PlayStation 5 is
And then Sony took a
especially
look at the top
challenging
100
because the
PS4
CPU
games
supports
based by
256
playtime and
bit
expected
memory
almost all of them to be
instructions that
playable.
consume a lot of
Hold
power.
on, no.
These
Hold
are
on,
great
hold on, hold on,
here
hold
and
on.
there, but presumably only
Hold on,
in
hold on,
the
hold on,
few.
hold on, hold on.
Or are they?
Top
If we plan for
100.
major 256-bit instruction usage, we need to set the CPU clock substantially
PlayStation
lower or noticeably increase
4
the
games.
size of the power supply and fan.
Oh, this is gonna be a
So,
normie.
after much discussion, we decided to go
Okay,
with
Persona
a very
5.
different direction on PlayStation 5. We built a GPU
Hold on.
with
I know they talking about this. We gotta look this
Mind
up
you,
because
RDNA 2
there's some
are
critical
large,
important
which has
shit.
62% more transistors than the CUs
see.
we were using on PlayStation 4. So if we compare transistor counts, 36 RDNA 2 CUs equates to roughly 58 PlayStation 4 CUs. It is a fairly sizable
Street Fighter,
GPU.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Then
Okay.
we went with a variable frequency strategy for PlayStation 5, which is to say we continuously
Gear's
run
on
the
here,
GPU and
okay.
CPU in boost mode. We supply
man.
a generous amount of electrical power and then increase the frequency of GPU and CPU until they reach the
Final
capabilities of the
Fantasy,
system's cooling solution.
Guilty
It's
Gear,
a completely different paradigm. Rather than running at
Yakuza,
constant
Mortal
frequency and letting
Kombat.
power vary based on the workload, we run at essentially constant power. and
Dog,
let
there's no
frequency vary based on
Naruto.
workload.
No,
We then
bro.
tackled the
I'm not
engineering
going,
challenge of
dog.
cost-effective and high-performance
I'm
cooling
not
solution
going, dog.
designed for that specific power level.
I don't see
In some ways, It
Naruto.
becomes a simpler problem because there
Where's
are no
Naruto?
algorithms. There's no need to guess what power consumption you
I know it's an anime game in its niche, but like,
As for the details of the
I'm
cooling
about to
solution,
cry, y'all.
we're saving them for our teardown. I think you'll be quite
Hold on,
happy
hold
with
on.
what the engineering
fuck.
team
All right,
achieved.
15's there. Okay, cool.
So, how
Tales
fast
of's
can
there.
we
All
run
right,
the
cool.
GPU and CPU with this strategy?
Damn, we almost read it out of
The simplest
the next
approach would be
page.
to look at the actual temperature of the silicon die and
The next
throttle the
page.
frequency on that basis.
They're talking
But
about the
that
top
won't work.
100
It
games will be
fails to
playable
create
backwards
consistent
compatibility.
PlayStation 5 experience. It wouldn't do to run a console slower simply because it was in a hot room. So rather than look at the actual temperature of the silicon die, we look at the activities that the GPU and CPU are performing.
People ain't understanding
and
what it
set the
is.
frequencies on that basis, which makes everything deterministic and repeatable. While we're at it, we also use AMD's Smart Shift technology and send any unused power from the CPU to the GPU so it can squeeze out a few more pixels.
I'm switching to Xbox.
Benefits of this
Fuck
this
yeah.
strategy are
I might have to switch. I'm switching. We
running
switching
a
to Xbox.
GPU at 2 gigahertz was looking like an unreachable target with the old fixed frequency
He
strategy.
talks like Bob
With
Ross.
this new
Please
paradigm,
tell me
we're
Dead Cells is
able
on
to run
there.
way over that. In
Dog,
fact,
this
we
the
have
last
half
list.
the GPU frequency
I'll tell you,
at 2.23 gigahertz
Life is
so
Strange,
that we
Little
can
Big
guarantee
Planet.
that the on-chip
All right, Nier made the cut. Yes, Naruto.
Those CPUs
There we
at
go.
2.23 gigahertz
Naruto
is
stupid.
1.2 teraflops.
Ultimate
And
Ninja
we
Storm.
expect the GPU to
All right,
spend most
cool.
of its time at or close
Cool.
to that frequency and
Cool.
performance. Similarly, running the CPU at 3 gigahertz was causing headaches with the old strategy. But now we can run it as high as 3.5
we back, we
gigahertz.
back.
In fact, it spends most of its time at that frequency.
Well, I expect GTA 6
That
to
doesn't
release
mean
soon with
all
the
games
PS5
will be
happening
running
announcing
at
today.
2.23 gigahertz and 3.5 gigahertz. When that worst-case game arrives, it will run at a lower clock speed, but not too much lower. To reduce
Dog,
power
everybody
by 10%,
upset on
it only
Twitter
takes a
about no,
couple percent reduction in frequency,
No
so I
backwards
expect any
compat.
downclocking
Fuck,
to be pretty
2020
mild.
is ass.
All things considered, the change to a variable frequency approach will show significant gains for PlayStation gamers. The final of our 3 principles was about finding new dreams. It's important for us on the hardware team to find new ways to expand or deepen gaming, and that's what led us to a focus on 3D audio. As players, we experience the game through the visuals, through audio, and through the feedback we receive from the controller, such as rumble or haptics. Personally, I feel a game is just dead without audio. Visuals are, of course, important, but the impact of audio is huge as well. At the same time, the audio team on a game project has to do a lot with a little. For example,